It repeats and then goes down at the end with the same melody. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Pretty easy, right? Let's try one more time. It goes up first and then it goes down second, like this. Ya da da da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Sounds great. Ya da 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 da. That's a full half of the song. The second goes like this. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Try that. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. And then the same refrain that we learned from before. Ya da 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 da. We're going back up. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. I think you're getting it. It sounds great in here. It's lovely to sing with people again. I've missed that so much. Let's try the whole thing together. I can see you're catching on. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Second part. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. I'm going to share a story with you that I learned this week, and it might not be true, but it is true. It's one of those stories. In the 1970s, Pete Seeger was invited to sing in Barcelona, Spain. Francisco Franco's fascist government, the last in the dictatorships that started World War II, was still in power, but declining. They had invited America's best known singer at the time. Did anybody ever get to see Pete Seeger live? Jeff's very excited. Maybe some of our friends on Zoom. Sorry, I can't see you friends given the way it's set up right now, but I'm sure some of you were there too to sing with Pete. Because when you sang with Pete, it wasn't just to go to a concert, it was to go to a community sing, right? He was a terrific song leader. And so he got this list of songs from government officials under this dictatorship, songs that he was not allowed to sing. He studied it mournfully, saying that it looked an awful lot like his set list. But they insisted he must not sing any of these songs. So Pete took the government's list of banned songs and he strolled onto the stage. He held up the paper in his hand and he said, I've been told that I'm not allowed to sing these songs, with a grin, because the next thing that he said is, I'll just play the chords. Maybe you know the words. They didn't say anything about you singing them. So he strummed his banjo to one song after another, and they all sang. 100,000 defiant freedom singers breaking the law with Pete Seeger, filling the stadium with words that the government did not want them to hear. Words that they knew and had sung together in secret circles for years. What could the government do? Arrest 100,000 singers? It had been beaten by a few banjo chords and a fame of a man whose songs were on the lips of the whole world. I know this little nigun is not on the lips of the whole world, but it is a little defiance in this moment, in our little modest ways. We can raise up the Ukrainian stories of our people, this melody that was reclaimed from the wreckage and destruction of a people, facing challenge once again tonight. So that's what fills me when I sing this song, a little act of defiance with just a few simple notes. Can't we sing it one more time? Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's good to see you in person. It's good to see you on Zoom. It's good to be together to offer a prayer and feel the sense of community that we've all been longing for. I want to invite for the candle lighting, a very special young man, Jake Siegel. Please come up with your mom. Alicia, you can come too. Jake's going to become bar mitzvah pretty soon. I won't say how soon, just in case it makes you feel a little nervous, but in not too long from now. And as we light these Shabbat candles together, you can follow along on page 120 in your prayer book. Very nice. The mask was doing its job. Right. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We'll sing the prayer together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner le'adlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom. As we light these candles, I'm just imagining in my mind's eye our many teenagers at their BBYO event who are also lighting the Shabbat candles at the same time, along with Jewish communities all throughout the world, all of us linking our tradition and sharing in Shabbat's beauty together. Our service begins with Shalom Aleichem, page 142, a way to beckon and welcome the divine presence that we feel on this special day of the week. I think maybe that's one reason we have angels, because it feels a little overwhelming to conceive of God coming into our homes. So we have these metaphors, right, on Shabbat, the Shabbat angels, the Shabbat bride entering our space, and maybe something a little bit more relatable, a little less intimidating, these angels of peace. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 131. As we enter Kabbalat Shabbat, we sing a new song. An old song, but we make it new. Shir Ladonai, Shir Chadash, sing to God a new song. Let all the earth rejoice. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru miyom leyom Yeshuato, Sapru v'goyim kevodo b'chol ha'amim nifleotav ki gadol Adonai umulal meod norahu al kol Elohim ay Yikol Elohe ha'amim elelim va'adonai shamayim asa od ve'hadar lefanav oz ve'tiferet be'mikdasho yanai yismechu hashamayim v'tagil haaretz Oy Ramayam Umelo Ya'alo Sadai V'chol Asher Bo Az Yeranenu Olat Seyar Lifnei Adonai Kiva lishpot haaretz, lishpot tevel betzedek, ve'amim be'emunato, yanai dai dai dai, dai 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 dai, yanai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai. Here's your last chance. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Hey, Dan, if my drum is back there, would you take a look and see if it stayed there? And if so, will you bring it to Joshua over here? Because I'm just aching on the beats that I know he could lay down while we sing. I could have had him bring his bass in. Maybe that'll be for when we get the band back together. And I'm not joking about getting the band back together. I hear the band is terrific. Only if you want to, no pressure. We'll continue on the next page, 132 at the bottom. Light is sown, the mystics tell us, all around the earth for righteous people to pick up, lift up, raise up, celebrate. The world is filled with their goodness. And we sing. Or Zarua, Lat Sadik, Ulishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadik, Ulishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadik, Ulishrei Lev Simcha. Ulishrei lev simcha. Or zaru ala tzadik, ulishrei lev simcha. Ulishrei lev simcha. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Ready? Or zarua la tzadik, ulishrei lev simcha. Or zarua la tzadik, ulishrei lev simcha. Or zarua la tzadik, ulishrei lev simcha. Ulishrei lev simcha. Or zarua la tzadik, ulishrei lev simcha. Ulishrei lev simcha. Yadai dai dai dai, yadai dai 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 dai, yadai dai 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 dai, yadai dai 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 dai, yadai dai 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 dai, yadai dai 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 dai. Well, it is a joyful sound here at Laurelwood, and I know that you're all on Zoom making a joyful noise too. We look forward to your presence here too, so you can join this beautiful, beautiful Levitical choir we've got going here. And the weather will be warming up. That's what they tell me. The weather will be warming up, the light will be getting longer, it'll be nice to be outside again, and we're looking forward to spending more time gathering and singing. We'll continue with Lecha Dodi on page 138. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, ishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem ultiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor ha'beracha, Rosh mikedem nestucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha Dodi, lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech il melucha, tu mitzei mitoch ha'afecha, rav lach shevet ve'emek ha'macha. Vehu yachmol alayich chemla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 5. Itoreri, itoreri. Kiva orech umi uri. Uri, uri, shir daveri. Kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. We rise, we face the entrance to our homes, we invite God's presence. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzoram, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, Lecha dodi likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Remain standing for our call to prayer as we transition to Ma'ariv, page 146. Marechu et Adonai, Amevorach. Continue with the prayer for the evening, Ma'ariv Aravim, page 148, if you're following in your Siddur. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, b'chokhmah poteach she'arim, uvidvuna meshane yitim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kiritzono, borei yom va'layla, kolel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, umavir yom umehevi layla, umavdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai tzevaot shemo, el chai v'kayam tamid imoch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Aravim. Page 151, read together at the top of the page for Torah. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Shem kevon ma'alechuto leolam leolam You can have a seat. If we're currently standing, we continue on page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha vishinantam levanecha V'dibarta abam, b'shivtecha v'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech, u'v'sholchecha u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam le'od hayadecha, v'hayu letotafot beinenecha, u'chetavtam amizuzot beitecha u'v'hisharecha. Leman tizkeru va'asitem kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim leloechem ani Adonai Eloechem asher hotzeit yetchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liod lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Just wanted to say that hearing everybody's beautiful voices for the first time after a couple of months is very stirring to me, as I've said, but I also am missing singing with my cantorial partner and missing Cantor Boyle's voice tonight. She is with family and she is okay, but she needed to spend some time with them this weekend. And I know that she wishes she could be here with us as well. We'll see her back again before too long. Continue with me, Chamocha. Page 158. Kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'edar ba'kodesh, Nora tehilo rosei pele, Nora tehilo rosei pele. Malechutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze Elianu ve'amru, Ve'elianu ve'ameru Adonai imloch ve'olam va'ed Adonai imloch ve'olam va'ed. We can put our hands together and clap. ונאמר כי אדוני את יעקב ידו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל Continue on page 160 with our prayer for safety, comfort, and rest. So many in our world tonight need this. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, God, spread over us your canopy of peace. Ufros alehem sukat shlomecha, and spread it over them too, all who are in need this evening. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, ve'ha'amideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Defend us, God, against illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. God, you are gracious and merciful. Be with your people. Guard our coming and our going to life and peace evermore. Continue with the Chatima at the bottom of the page. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Continue with the Amidah. Invite you to rise if it's comfortable to do so on page 164. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agitei latecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim ve'Konei Hakol ve'Zocher Chastei Avot ve'Imaot u'Mevi Gula livnei v'neihem le'ma'an Shemo be'ahava Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magin. Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid agashen. Mechalkel chayim bechesed. Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofei cholim. Umatir asurim. Umekayem emunato. Mishenei afar. Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melach, melech meimit umechahayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata l'hachayot hakol. Baruch ata Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimecha kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yihallelu selah. Baruch ata Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Continue with a few moments now of silent prayer through the intervening pages between here and 180, or feel free to offer the prayer of your hearts, and you may have a seat as soon as you're ready to. We're on page 178. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol ashadon. Atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov Yisrael, bechol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. vasim leolam. For a broken world, there is a prayer. There's always a prayer, and it never feels like enough, but it is a start. And so it is for the people who are ailing in our midst, whose lives in the last 2 weeks have been upended in Ukraine, for those who are in need of healing and strength. We pray for them. We think of all of our loved ones who are in need. I mentioned first our temple members, Amy Agranov, Allison Broder, April D'Amato, Norma Diamond, Henry Gettenberg, Josh Lipschitz, Sabrina Maurer, and Paula Retsky, and loved ones made known to our congregation, including Marie Sammartino, Connie Ambrosino, Mickey Bart, Jay Fliss, Sue Yaris, Rod Perkins, Joanne Crisulio, Marvin Goldberg, Barry Cooperberg, Robert Harris, Anthony Santomoro, James Cramen, Joan Sidney, Michael Stafford, Ira Weiss, Peggy Pig, Betsy Powers Brown, John Reed, Nancy Mann, Amanda Walyursik, Adam Zielinski, and others who are in our minds and on our hearts right now. I'll put on my mask so I can come around. If you would like to add a loved one's name to the chat at this time, it would be appropriate. Who else are we praying for tonight, friends? Jennifer Butler. Jennifer Butler. Hi, Johnston. Hi, Johnston. We add Carol Robb to our prayers as well as we join together, page 371, in the words of Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Laimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. We've all been looking at the news. We all know what's going on in Ukraine. We know that it is dire, and we know that we want to do something about it. Certainly, Russia's invasion last week activated memories and traumas from the recent and the not so recent Jewish past. When Germany invaded Poland in 1939, World War II began. Of course, by then the Nazi Party was more than 6 years into its campaign of Aryan supremacy, placing gradual and then sudden restrictions on Jews, homosexuals, Jehovah's Witnesses, and many others. It's the question that keeps running through my head this week. Is this another 1939? Are the demands of the hour as great now as they were then? Just last week, Russian forces bombed densely populated civilian areas around and including Babin Yar, which was, of course, a horrific and tragic site of a massacre during the Holocaust and now has an important memorial. Ukraine's Jewish president, Volodymyr Zelensky, posted on social media in the wake of that, "What is the point of saying never again for 80 years if the world stays silent when a bomb is dropped in Babin Yar?" Absent the benefit of retrospect, no one knows where this will end. The bottom line truth is Russia's aggression is horrific. It is evil. And the people of Ukraine need our support. Ukraine is home to one of the largest Jewish populations in Europe. Hundreds of years ago, it was part of what was known as the Pale of Settlement, a large, prominently, restrictively Jewish area consisting also of all of modern-day Belarus, Lithuania, and Moldova. Millions of Jews lived there. Though life was often bleak for the Jews of the Pale, it also was the birthplace of major Jewish cultural and political movements. Hasidic Judaism began in Ukraine before it spread throughout Eastern Europe and then throughout the world. Its joyous, mystical, and spiritually personal teachings uplifted millions of Jews and continue to do so throughout the Jewish world. I sometimes will bring in some Hasidic teachings when I teach or lead too. And so if they haven't uplifted or inspired you, then they must be the others, not the Hasidic ones. The Yiddish author Shalom Aleichem grew up in a small town not far from Kiev. And his Tevye, whom we all love and know from Fiddler on the Roof, reflects the pride and discontents of that life in their beloved shtetl Anatevka, which may very well have been based on his hometown. The great Zionist thinkers Achad Ha'am, Leon Pinsker, and Zev Jabotinsky were all born in Ukraine, dreaming of liberation and new beginnings in the cafes of Odessa before they left to build the Jewish homeland. Golda Meir and Natan Sharansky were born there too, although Golda Meir is one of those people who I feel like gets claimed by everybody. When I grew up in Chicago, it was, did you know she's from Milwaukee? She's not really from Milwaukee, but okay, she was born in Ukraine. It's hard to know just how many Jews live in Ukraine today, but it's probably more than 100,000. I had dinner 12 years ago at the table of a Chabad rabbi in Athens. And I just saw him post on social media that his sister and some of their other Chabad community in Ukraine are on their way, even on Shabbat, to try to get out of the country because it is saving a life. To flee on Shabbat while it violates the Sabbath technically is what they need to be doing. And we can hold all of those Jews in Ukraine who are in trouble at this hour in our hearts. The Chabad rabbis say there are over 350,000 Jews. An article that I read says it's about 100,000. In any event, there are a lot of Jews there, but not nearly as many as there were. At one time, there were millions of Jews there. Many perished in the Shoah or emigrated away in the late 20th century. My mind at this time flashes back to the refuseniks yearning to escape the Soviet bloc and to Operations Solomon and Moses, in which Israel evacuated and resettled thousands of Ethiopian Jews. Today, Israel is sending humanitarian aid, medical personnel, and clearing the way for Jews in Ukraine to make Aliyah, as I assume they will start doing in large numbers if, that is, they can get out in the first place. I have a childhood friend who grew up in Ukraine. He still has family and friends there. My heart breaks when I read his social media updates, feeling his sense of hopelessness. Civilians are dying. They are running for the border. They are grabbing what they can as they flee the encroaching armies. How many of these stories, friends, live in the Jewish psyche? The need to grab only what one can carry and leave. This should touch all of us deeply in our hearts. I am not sure where it will end. I am not sure how bad it will get, but I am sure that we all have a role to play. I'm just not sure what. The most immediate way to help is to help people who are already helping. Give to organizations helping people on the ground. Although I know it feels a little hollow to do only that, it is the first and most important thing that we can do right now. So I hope that we'll all consider opening our wallets to give. I provided some suggestions for causes that support Jews and non-Jews for humanitarian relief in Ukraine. In the Shofar Blast, there are many other worthy organizations as well. Another way we may help eventually is in the settling of a refugee family. A third way is through federal legislation or state legislation to promote various types of aid and other American assistance. Of course, that can only go so far. The sanctions are what they are. I think our country is very reticent to enter into a military conflict, especially with a belligerent superpower like Russia. But we'll have to see what happens. And these are only a few ideas to get started. Some of these options or others may present themselves for our action. So I want to appreciate Karen Goldberg, who's been very helpfully gathering together some folks who have been reaching out to help and start brainstorming how TBT can help. So if you would like to help, and you might be interested in being part of an organized TBT effort around the Ukraine crisis, I do invite you to be in touch with Karen or myself, and we can connect you to the folks who are starting those conversations. I also would direct you to our Friday email, which gave word of a very hastily put together last-minute rally that's happening on the New Haven Green, supporting the cause of Ukraine and also collecting very desperately needed items to send over there. And there's a list of such items. So that will be Sunday at 1 p.m. I know it feels difficult not to be able to act with greater impact, and we all are wondering how we should be feeling about our inability to act right now. The truth is that we can only do what we can do, but I hope that will increase and become clear in days to come. And if you have ideas, I'm interested in hearing them too. And in the meantime, I know it sounds a little, perhaps, I don't know, grandiose or sanctimonious, but I really do think that prayer helps. And I think that we should always do that. So in the meantime, I think when you came in here, you got one of these. It's a copy of A Prayer for Ukraine. I'm sorry to our friends who are joining on Zoom that you didn't get this when you came in. But for those of us here in person, I invite you to read this together. It starts in Hebrew, Ribon ha'olamim shomei tfilat kol peh. This is from the chief rabbi of the UK. Please, friends, join with me. Sovereign of the universe, who hearkens to our prayers, we stand before you in solidarity with all who are enduring the darkness of human conflict in Ukraine. May you protect all innocent men, women, and children at this moment of great peril for them, their country, for Europe, and the world. Bring fortitude to the vulnerable, resilience to the insecure, and strength to those who live in fear. Incline the hearts of national leaders toward peace and reconciliation, and bless them with wisdom, vision, and perseverance needed to end this war and restore peace to the region. Almighty God, strengthen the hands of those who pursue peace, not war. Bring harmony where there is hostility, relief where there is pain, and hope where there is despair. May he who makes peace in high places make peace for all on earth. V'chein yehi ratzon, may this be your will, and let us say together, Amen. Continue in our service now on page 586, Aleinu l'shabeach. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'teit kidula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kaem, Vigor aleinu kechol amonam, Va'anachnu koreim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 591. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad. We can have a seat. Share this poem by Yehuda Amichai, the poet laureate of Israel. Ani alav hashalom, it's called. May I rest in peace. May I rest in peace. I, who am still living, say, may I have peace for the rest of my life. I want peace right now while I'm still alive. I don't want to wait like that pious man who wished for one leg of the golden chair of paradise. I want a four-legged chair right here, a plain wooden chair. I want the rest of my peace now. I have lived out my life in wars of every kind, battles without and within, close combat, face to face. The face is always my own, my lover face, my enemy face. Wars with the old weapons, sticks and stones, blunt axe, words, dull ripping knife, love and hate, and wars with newfangled weapons, machine guns, missiles, words, landmines exploding, love and hate. I don't want to fulfill my parents' prophecy that life is war. At this time of memory, I'd like to especially recognize the Shelton and Muskin families within our congregation who lost two beloved matriarchs within a single week. And the pain of that loss is immense. And I hope you know, if you're listening to us tonight, that our congregation includes you in an embrace with great care in your time of grief. Within the period of Shiva and Shloshim, we think of Valmore T. Langevin, father of Ted Langevin, Jeffrey D'Amato, brother of April D'Amato, Harriet Cohn Haggerty, sister of Sheila England, Doris Shelton, mother of Stephen Shelton, and Carol Muskin, mother of Ben Muskin and Amy Shelton. Please feel free to rise if it's comfortable if I read the name of your loved one for their yahrzeit. Those who have passed away at this time in years gone by, including Sarah Garth, George Cohn, Paul Rollin, Charles Barr, William Tenenbaum, Shirley David, and Sidney B. Geringer. There are others we should recognize at this time. Feel free to do so as I come around the room, or on Zoom, feel free to add their names into the chat. I invite us to rise in solidarity with our mourners as we recite these hallowed words on page 598, the mourner's prayer of our people. Page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah be'alma divrach hireutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'alam u'le'almei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudesha b'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, V'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high, please bring peace to us, into our world, and comfort to the hearts of all who are bereaved this evening. As together we say, Amen. Ose shalom bimroma, huyase shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru. Amen. Feel free to have a seat, except for Sarah. I'm so happy to invite your friend and mine, Sarah Mervine, to greet us.
Shabbat Shalom. It's nice to see some of you in person and some of you very far away on Zoom. It's nice to be back together again, and this is where we'll be for all of March now, right? So, yes, hopefully. I'm Sarah Mervine. I'm the president of TBT. Tomorrow, you can join us on Zoom for Jewish mindfulness and meditation at 8 a.m. And then Torah study is at 9 a.m. You just have to click the link on Zoom. If you've never done it, tomorrow could be the first day you do it. This Sunday, March 6th, religious school, it says Tikkun is not going to meet because many of our children are at a BBYO event right now. But there is confirmation at the normal time and in person. Looking ahead, it's almost Purim. How can that be? Purim is coming on Sunday, March 13th at noon. You can join us for our family-friendly Encanto Purim, followed by our annual Salty Purim. Our annual Salty Purim Carnival. We're having our carnival. And then on Wednesday, March 17th at 7, celebrate with the adult spiel. I see the adults are separate from the kids. They're not doing Encanto. They're doing a very Mazel Purim. That's all happening here. It's going to be right here at Camp Laurelwood, and I'm sure it'll be on Zoom as well. Shabbat Shalom.
I don't know about you, but I could really use the frivolity of Purim. So I am really looking forward to having a great time and letting my hair down a little bit, although it doesn't really get much lower, unfortunately. So friends, let's make Kiddush together, and we have a beautiful challah. So Zoom friends, sorry, this is where you really have to come by if you want, because there's no way we can give you delicious carbohydrates through the circuitry, unless Joshua has some wizardry that I don't know about. I feel like that would be like the next Willy Wonka thing, right? With the like the TV. Yeah, television. I like that a lot. Take that to the bank, man. Oh wow. Okay. All right. Let's see. We're on page 123. If you'd like to follow along in your Siddur. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodesho v'ahava uv'ratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikrai kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim. Ki vanu vacharta ve'otanu kirashta mikol amim v'shabbat kodeshecha be'ahava uv'ratzon Inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat Lechaim. Jake, do you want the first bite of challah? Who's going to say no to that? Come on up, buddy. You stand right next to me. Ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Enjoy. Yes, you can very briefly. Yes, that's how it's done. How about a little warmth for our tech support over here? I'm sorry, it is very dry. I'm not insulting anyone. It's from the grocery store. Where's Abby Lipschitz when you need her? Abby, we need you. Abby Lipschitz, you're my only hope. We had a grandma at the Young Family Service earlier dressed as Darth Vader, which I consider a personal gift. I mean, I don't know if that was pretty cool. I had a special sheet prepared for our closing song, and I don't know where it went. Dan, did I give you those little sheets? The half a page sheets? Are they back there or no? I must have left them at home. That's okay. It's only 3 words, so we can do without. By the way, I want to recognize not only Joshua and Haida, who stepped in to really make this work beautifully, but also Kim, who worked to set all of this up in advance. Thank you, Kim. And our friend Dan, who's back there at the table greeting. You might not have met before, so please, friends who are here, do feel free to introduce yourselves to him. He's the newest part of our dream team. I saw the dream team having a meeting yesterday. The newest part of the dream team, who are helping with facilities and maintenance and such at TBT, and we really couldn't do what we do without you. So thank you, Dan. I also think, I don't want to call him out, but was this your first Jewish service ever? All right, well then I'll look forward to debriefing with you afterwards. He had the esteemed role of being our Shabbat dinosaur holder during the Young Family Service, which was a delight for all. Okay, this song by Rabbi Menachem Creditor, who wrote about 5-10 years ago, has only 3 words, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, which means the world should be built from love, an eternal love. That is the Jewish yearning. First word, Olam. Second word, Chesed. Third word, Yibaneh. Can we try those 3 words together? Olam, Chesed, Yibaneh. Olam, Chesed, Yibaneh. Ta-da-dai, dai-dai, da-da-dai-dai. Olam, Chesed, Yibaneh. Ta-da-dai, dai-dai, da-da-dai-dai. Same words, different melody. Olam chesed yibaneh. Ta-da-dai, dai-dai, da-da-dai-dai. Olam chesed yibaneh. Ta-da-dai, dai-dai, dai-dai. I will build this world from love. Ta-da-dai, dai-dai, da-da-dai-dai. And you must build this world from love. Ta-da-dai, dai-dai, da-da-dai-dai. And if we build this world from love, da-da-dai, dai-dai, da-da-dai-dai, then God will build this world from love. Ta-da-dai, dai-dai, da-da-dai-dai. Olam chesed yivaneh. Ta-da-dai, dai-dai, da-da-dai-dai. Olam chesed yivaneh. Da-da-dai, dai-dai, da-da-dai-dai. Olam chesed yivaneh. Da-da-dai, dai-dai, da-da-dai-dai. Olam chesed yivaneh. Da-da-dai, dai-dai, da-da-dai-dai. One more time. Olam chesed yibane. Olam chesed yibane. Da 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 da. Olam chesed yibane. Da 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 da. Olam chesed yibane. Da 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 da. Olam chesed yibane. Da 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 da. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai varech et amo v'shalom. God bless our people with strength, bless all people with strength, and may we depart as we came in peace. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Those on Zoom, I will come to greet you in just a moment. Everyone else, feel